Hello. Good evening.
Hello.
Hi. What's
Hi.
up? What's new?
Oh, not much.
Same.
We got a fun article today.
I don't know how fun, but it'll be interesting, that's for sure.
Well, I sent it to you and I said we need to work on our media literacy skills
Hmm.
and, you know, that could be the theme of today's class.
Right.
Engaging with propaganda.
Great idea. Yes. Um, I'm I'm glad you found this article and you sent it to me. And shall we dive in?
We shall.
Okay. Okay. Also, well, actually, hello to everybody in the chat first. Little rude of me. There's so many people in the chat already. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, chatters.
Okay, great. Okay, I shall share my screen here.
Do you want to mention also that after
Oh
the
yeah.
article?
Yes, after the article, whoops. I'm struggling. After the article, we are happy to have people join us, like actually live chatting. So if you're in the Discord, the link is in there. If not, I'll probably post it in the chat. Anyway, so we'll do this first. Let me just set up my little screen here so I can see what I'm doing. Oops. How's that for size?
It's great.
Okay.
You can scroll down a little to see how big the text is. Oh, you can make it a little bigger.
How's that?
Beautiful.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to try and play this video. I've never tried to do that before, but I'm going to try. So yeah, 38-year-old woman decides she wants a baby, claims she's been betrayed by feminism. Great. So this is her TikTok, I guess she posted. Shall we watch it first?
Yeah.
Okay, make sure the volume is up. Okay.
I don't consider myself a feminist at all, but that it did get me thinking, and I did write an article that I think will come out soon about the downfall of living a selfish, me-focused life.
Interrupt if you have any commentary.
And it does, I mean, for me, it's definitely started to feel hollow and meaningless. And, it's taken me to this point in my life to realize that that's not a life that's going to bring you happiness. I mean, and maybe it does for some people. I honestly have a hard time believing that. If I thought I would spend the rest of my life alone, if I didn't think that I would get married and have children, I would be devastated. So I don't know. It is such a me focused culture right now. I was constantly fed this idea that women can do everything. We don't really need men. Women can have the great career and have the kids that they like and change the tires and do this. I mean, I grew up thinking, and men are great, but like I can do all the same things. Like I really I do feel in many ways betrayed by that line of thinking.
Okay. So there's some comments in the chat already that I wanted to already.
Yeah.
So Lily says, being a feminist equals selfish, hollow, and meaningless. Existential gamer. Did she just say she doesn't consider herself a feminist at all, but she's blaming feminism? Ree says, hollow and meaningless. Please get a cat or dog. It will fix everything. Existential gamer. Being selfish and not being sorry about it is a radical act for a woman.
Agreed.
Oh the freaking chat is so fast. They blame women because women are easy scapegoats. Anyway, what did you think of her TikTok?
Yeah, I think, that she's saying her existence is hollow and meaningless. Like, girl, that's a you issue.
Right?
Like, you can't find other things to fill your life that it's so yeah, exactly. Same mind. Um, there's so many other things you could fill, like, your day with. Like, get a
Yes.
job you care about, get friends, you know, your family members, like,
Hobby,
hobbies.
volunteer work.
Yes. There's so many things that, spend time in nature, exercise, like, there's so many different things that could give life meaning.
Right.
Yeah, also that idea of being selfish, this idea that if you don't have kids, you're being selfish, it's, like,
I
literally the opposite,
I have
like
never heard a good explanation for how it is selfish to not have children. How?
right.
Can someone like no one has ever provided a good explanation for that.
Yeah, and I think, I've said this before, but this idea that of selflessness
Mhm.
as a good thing is totally like a piece of propaganda, right? Because
Seriously.
selfless.
Yep.
You don't have a
No
self.
self.
You are not a human. You are
Yep.
a resource. We
Ugh.
always come back to that idea. Are women human? Are women resources? Like
Mhm.
selfless. She has no self. She is not a person. But
Ugh.
that's what's kind of glorified, and that's the propaganda, like, the fact that this thing is glorified, but there's actually nothing behind it, you know?
Yep. Yep. Ooh, great comment here. Why is it a child's job to give you meaning?
Yeah,
It's
true.
a big job for an innocent child.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Also, she mentioned something about, like, this when she grew up, which is true because 'cause we're, like, kinda same age range or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
whatever, the have it all, like, a woman can have a job and have the family and all this stuff. So then
Mhm.
why does she feel betrayed by feminism if that's the message that she grew up with? And it's just her fault for not doing
Right.
the marriage motherhood thing, right?
Mhm.
Because so she chose a job, but she grew up with the idea that you can have it all. Have it all is a myth, by the way, like, that's fake, you can't. That's just, like that's more propaganda coming probably, I don't know, left, right, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
it's
yeah,
it's
it's certainly capitalistic propaganda, like, a woman can also, um, be a capitalist shill for, the economy or whatever, and she can be a perfect, wonderful, doting mother, like, you can it's propaganda from all sides.
right, and she ends up doing so much more work, like, that
Mhm.
you can have it all really means you can do it all.
Or you are expected to do it all.
That's it, yeah, versus, like, the husband, he's still just expected to basically just do the job part of things, like 2
Yep,
incomes or whatever. So mom, by have it all, yeah, she's expected to do it all.
yep.
Yep.
Enlightened Female says, "If she's having a hard time having it all, she should be blaming capitalism and male-centered society. Instead, she's shifting the blame onto feminists that literally gave her her rights."
Right.
Yeah. Okay, should we
True.
dive into the actual body of this?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so a woman said she felt betrayed by feminism after deciding she wanted to settle down, have a family, and a husband as she approached her 39th birthday. Maybe they want to insert a her into there.
Yeah.
Approached her 39th birthday.
Great proofreading.
At one point during the interview with Fox News Digital, she broke down crying, describing how she feared she would end up alone and childless. Oh boy.
Wow.
Melissa Persling recently wrote an essay for Business Insider titled, "I'm 38 and single, and I recently realized I want a child. I'm terrified I've missed my opportunity." She said it
Why
went,
would
she
she have
said
missed
after,
her sorry, why would
yeah.
she have missed her opportunity? Like, she could first of all, you still have, like, viable eggs when you're 38. Second of
Hmm.
all, you can adopt, foster a child, like, there's so many you know what
Hmm.
I mean?
Yeah, like it's that like bioessentialist idea that it has to be a biological child or whatever. Like you could adopt.
Ridiculous.
Um so let's see here. She said after it went viral in November, hate began to pour in from men telling her that she's lived a selfish life. Pursling has a much different account of her story. When Pursling was 22, she married a traditional man and moved to a rural community in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, where she grew up. He wanted a simple life with children and home cooked meals, she said. However, Pursling, despite coming from a religious Christian background, I'm going to guess Mormon because Idaho, she made it clear to her husband to be that she did not want children. At the time, I felt very strongly I did not want children, that I wasn't going to be like the traditional housewife. I knew I did want to pursue a career, she told Fox News Digital in an interview, and I felt very strongly that that would never change, and I guess I was wrong. Like, I mean, good. I'm glad that she chose to pursue a career. Like, I think more, women should choose education and self reliance.
Yeah.
But like, it's it's silly. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, chat. I know you are flying like crazy. I cannot keep up with both. um, Pursling said both her and her ex thought that love could conquer everything, but after 10 years, it was clear their difference in life goals were irreconcilable. Pursling said she became resentful when he would ask for dinner or for his laundry to be done. I did
Correct, like,
right.
response.
Yeah, he can do his own fucking laundry and make dinner. Like, good lord.
Right.
Pursling said she became, oh, wait, sorry, resentful. I did little to hide my disdain for our small town life. He was a good and hardworking man, but I don't think I made him feel that way, she said. Oh my God.
Yeah, weird.
Like, ugh. Lily, are his hands fucking broken? At 30, Pursling and her ex divorced. She swore off the idea of marriage. Um, I told my friends and family I'd never get married again. I needed independence, a fulfilling career, and space to chart my own course, and I didn't think marriage fit into that vision. I was content to look toward a future without a husband, children, and the trappings of a traditional life, she wrote. As she grew older, however, the fun, carefree lifestyle, being wined and dined, going to parties, began to get old. The pursuit of comfort and self became dull, she said. When she turned 38, terror began to take over. So I'm 2 years from 38, and you're 2 years post 38, right? How are the
Yeah, almost
terrors
3
doing?
years. I mean,
How is the
I
terrors?
feel, like, better and better every year that goes by. Like, I think this article is
Mhm.
really funny because there's trying to, like, make a broader statement about
Right.
child-free
Like this is
women
a
who are.
tale of woe and warning.
Yeah, or, like, this is some common thing that happens, and I think it's just, like, this one woman being kinda, like, emo or whatever, like.
Right. Like she made a mistake and she changed her mind about her decision. Okay, and
Yeah, I think it's probably really rare.
yeah. Okay, so yes, the terrors. I was panic stricken. I really thought I'm going to be alone forever. It really scared me. I almost wrote the article as sort of a warning to other women. I don't want people to miss out on the important things in life because they're just enjoying themselves, because I don't think that that's ever going to make you happy, she said. Like, don't enjoy yourself because it's not going to make you happy. Enjoying yourself is not going to be enjoyable. Okay.
Yeah.
She wrote in the article how she felt urgency to find a stable relationship and was rethinking about wanting marriage and children. I hardly recognized myself, she wrote in the article. I also began to feel selfish for spending so much time focusing solely on myself. My very existence started to feel shallow and hollow. But like when you're a single person, like focusing on yourself is a good thing. Like,
I know. But also,
like
just
what?
because you're a single person doesn't mean you have to focus on yourself. Like, you can join community groups, you can volunteer.
Yes.
That's like a
You can
choice that
contribute
you
to your
make. It's
community. Right.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with focusing on yourself if you wanna do that as, like, 100% of your day, that's also fine, but if it leaves you feeling empty, you don't have to do that.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Julie just mentioned, let's keep in mind this is the New York Post. Yeah, by no means is this like A-level journalism.
Well, yeah, but also, like, that was kind of the point, right? To, like, read
Yeah,
something
of course.
that is,
Yeah.
like, propaganda.
Yes, exactly.
So,
Enlightened female. Boo! The terror of being free from dedicating your life to a man. So scary.
yeah,
Ree says she needs friends. Yeah.
right?
Maybe she should do what men in her situation do and buy a Harley Davidson.
Yeah, like, she just sounds like she sounds depressed and like she just needs,
Yeah,
like, a hobby or something.
right?
Yeah.
In retrospect, Pursling believed she had some self discovery and work for herself to do, and it took time to sort through previous trauma. Her parents' divorce, which she described as coming from a broken home, took time to heal and sort through to find out what she really wanted. That sounds reasonable to me. We could all do some introspection about our lives.
Yeah.
I grew up in a fairly traditional family, but my parents were divorced, and I would say that probably had some effect on my feelings about having a family coming from a broken home. Certainly has its hardships, she told Fox News Digital. At one point, she recalled a man coming over to her in a coffee store who randomly told her not to lose hope, that God had a plan for her.
There is no God.
And then a happy turn to Pursling's story arrived, which she describes as the exception and not the rule for women in her age group. Shortly after penning the article, she dated a man who she previously befriended. They're already talking about marriage and a future. It's a miracle. Thank you, Lee. You sweet angel.
Thanks, Lee.
She dished on the details. So it's a guy that I've been friends with, and we've always just sort of stayed in touch. And we did go on one date about a year ago, and I told him, I just want to be friends with you. After her epiphany that she wanted a traditional life, the realization that he was the one hit her like a ton of bricks. This guy is the one that God's been preparing for me, she said. I've had these relationships since what the? I've had these relationships. This is bad writing. I've had these
Yeah.
relationships where there were so many butterflies and so many, like, oh my gosh, checking my phone. Did he text? And I realized that's not love, that's anxiety. I never knew where I stood with those people. I could never envision a future with those people. Pursling said she is looking forward to a modest, meaningful, and happy future. Moving into my future, I'm not going to be traveling. I'm not going to have a lot of extra money. I'm not going to be going out for fancy dinners, and I'm okay with that, she said. I'm ready for that.
I'm ready to downgrade.
Yeah, I'm ready to not explore the world. I'm ready to not have any money. I'm ready to not do what I want. I'm ready for
Wow,
that.
amazing.
I think that's what's really going to make me happy. Like, I'm so done just making myself happy. Yes, you definitely are done because it's not going to
What?
continue as soon as you get married and have kids.
Yeah, this is so whack.
Great comment from Juliet. Woman makes herself
Yeah.
a hermit for a man. Okay. You think you're happy when you're doing all these things when you're single to make yourself happy. I don't think you really are. It's the relationships that make you happy. Well, I don't necessarily disagree with that. You can have all kinds of meaningful relationships without devoting your life to raising a man's children.
Right.
It's building something with another person. It's creating a life with another person, having goals and plans with another person. It's making other people happy, making people you love happy. That's happiness. I really don't think I will know true happiness until I'm in that place. While Persling doesn't consider herself a feminist, she attributed feminism in part as the reason she had thought negatively about marriage.
Can we, like, scroll up for 1 sec?
Yeah,
I'm kinda curious about
this.
this millennial men. Yeah, can we click on that?
Yes. Whoops. Millennial men want 1950s housewives after they have kids. A new book explores how women are outpacing men in the workforce while also being saddled with a second shift to fulfill household duties. That ain't new news.
Oh, yeah, this doesn't
What?
sound yeah, this sounds like
Um, do you want to read, like, explore this article?
yeah, let's just read a little bit of it.
Okay. The ambition of millennial women has long been lauded. From their girl power childhoods to their PhDs, women are now the backbone of the workforce. In 2018, 74 men earned bachelor's degrees for every 100 women. Girl power.
Damn.
Some 64% of women are now breadwinners or equal earners in their households, and no wonder they've grown up being told that women are able to do and be anything until they become mothers. Boy. At that point, many of their partners apparently expect them to turn into June Cleaver on Leave It to Beaver. Laura Bazelon's new book, Ambitious Like a Mother, explores how working mothers get tasked with a second shift, i.e., all the domestic and family work that occurs after paid work ends for the day. Like, this
This
is
is
not,
what we were just talking about.
this has been going, like, in discussion for 4 decades at this point, 5. Like,
Yeah, but
what?
I think there's more, especially since, like, COVID,
Uh-huh.
it became really obvious. Just
Mm,
like that have it all is a lie.
yeah,
It's really do it all
right.
and don't
Yeah.
complain.
Even among households where partners initially split chores equally, childcare ends up falling to mothers. 75% of moms are the ones who assume responsibility for appointments like children's checkups. They're also 4 times more likely than their partners to miss work to take care of sick children, a statistic that became all too clear during the COVID pandemic. Even in normal times, women spend approximately 2 hours more per day tending to domestic work than their partners. They should say than their male partners. A 2013 research paper by economics professor Francine D. Blau and Lawrence M. Kahn claimed that modern men do not adjust the amount of time they dedicate to housework based on their wives' employment status.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, okay, so we get the idea about this. This is actually pretty, like, feminist
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
article.
Yeah.
Um, so we had some comments from the other article. Do you wanna invite our chat on?
Ah! Oh, I just tried to go back and there's still a couple sentences to go over. If
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So she says, I feel unbelievably betrayed by feminism, and I don't want to put it on the movement entirely because I believe you make your own choices. But I was constantly fed this idea that women can do everything. We don't really need men. I kind of want to go
True.
back to some of those teachers and coaches and say, what did you mean by that? Because we can't do it all. Ugh.
Oh my
I
god.
feel like I'm in such a different place now, and I'm so ready for that now. I understand what the sacrifice of marriage is and what the beauty of marriage is now, and I don't think I appreciated what family means for a long time. I don't think I truly understood. I don't care if I ever put on heels or go to a fancy dinner again. That stuff does not matter. I promise you, young women, it will never make you happy.
Okay, so if she never puts on heels, that guy's out of there so fast.
Yeah, right. Yeah, honestly. Okay, yeah. So I did pull a few comments on some slides here. So let me just close this. And then yeah, if you're in the Discord, the link to join is in there. So you're welcome to join. I guess I can post it in the chat here too. Hey.
Yeah.
Um So there it is, if anyone wants to join us. So our first comment, she's not a feminist, but blames feminism for her decisions. Okay then.
Right, yeah, that's a really good point. That's actually a good comment. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, there was like 2 good ones. The rest are trash.
if she doesn't follow feminism, then like
Right.
why is she saying she listened to feminism?
Right. Like she's not a feminist and how somehow it's feminism's fault that she made the choices she made, but she's
Right.
not following. Okay, whatever. Our next one. This is a 2-parter.
Okay.
So Private Hudson says, it's normal to want kids and grandkids. Careers and dogs are inadequate substitutes, but it's rare to find a woman in her 20s these days that believes it, and even rarer to find one that will say it.
I guess it's normal to want kids. Most women do.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like, who is this person to say that a career and a dog is not a substitute? It's really like
Right?
so weird. It's like, but what if that's what I want and that's what I like? Oh, you can't have that because I don't like that.
Mm-hmm. Very
That's
silly.
you know.
John Wick says, yeah, no one wants to get pregnant by a bunch of porn addicts and men who call women used up over 21. Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good,
Right?
yes.
What are yeah. Choices are so slim pickings these days.
Yes. Okay. So far, no one has tried to join, so it's just us.
Okay.
Okay.
Nana's coming.
I saw that. Hi, Nana. That
Woohoo.
means she's skipping work right now. Oh, expired milk is here. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Woot woot.
Oh my goodness. And we've got somebody called Spirit. Hello. Hello. Welcome to the stream. If you're there.
Truly a spirit.
Yes. I've added you to the stream, Spirit, so you're welcome to join if you are able. Nana, hello. Oh, Ice Goddess is Spirit, she says, I think.
Oh.
Okay. So let's maybe discuss this one here.
Hello.
So, hi. Why is she blaming feminism for her life choices? Feminism doesn't tell women not to have kids and go and party and stuff. Feminism is about women being allowed to do what they want, which can include having kids in a traditional family life or being child-free if they want. Seems like she just wanted a partner to help her with chores, which is very reasonable. She also shouldn't have married a man who wanted kids if she didn't at the time. So,
Yeah,
anyone
I
feel
agree.
free to
People should
jump
really
in.
need to agree on that.
Yes, that should be like a massively important thing that you discuss before you even consider getting married.
Yeah, absolutely.
Though I obviously disagree with the point that feminism is about women being allowed to do what they want. Like, that's just like the classic choice feminism line, right? Like, any choice a woman makes is feminism. Like, no, but in this case, these specific choices, yes.
Yeah, feminism is about women being allowed to do what they want, which can include having kids in a traditional family life. No.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
not what we're like.
feminism is
If you want to
definitely
have children, sure, like that's within. Well, depending on which branch of feminism you're talking about, but yeah, sure, that's within the realm of choices that are fine for a woman to make, obviously, but not like
Yeah.
I want to be barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. That's not feminism, my friend.
It's not. It's just something you wanna do. It has nothing to do with feminism.
Yeah.
Here's a great comment from Enlightened Female. Men remaining unmarried and choosing careers and or dogs isn't seen as a substitute to marriage, so why should it be for women?
True.
Yeah, I think because I mentioned this before, but there seems to be this trend of certain videos becoming viral, and they always feature like a woman in maybe her late 30s who says she feels betrayed by feminism and she wishes
Yeah.
she was like the 24-year-old like blonde dainty girls that have like these buff guys who like make their lives the greatest thing ever. And I think this is sort of like a kind of a pushback from, well, I feel like we all grow up in a situation where it's like, oh yeah, you need to get married to this dude and have kids, because if you don't, this other unspeakably terrible thing will happen to you. And we can't really explain what that unspeakably terrible thing is, but trust us, you'll come to regret it. So whenever these videos do come out, whether they're, genuine or not, I feel like the narrative is just be like, see, look, we told you. Look at all these modern millennial women regretting having a life of their own. So it's just kind of annoying to see the trend.
Yeah. Like, see this woman who was not useful to a man? Terrible.
Extremely.
Disgusting. It's just like, why?
It's like, you don't want to be her, do you? Crying.
You don't want to be her. Look at this shriveled up, miserable woman who has a job and a house and a pet and friends.
Gross.
Yucky, yucky. What?
It's also like, okay, go outside, talk to people. Like, if you don't get a husband, it doesn't mean you're just kept in a cellar somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, did your family all disappear because you didn't get married in time? Like they turned back into pumpkins, Cinderella style or something? Like, what happened?
Okay. It looks like Ice Goddess is having tech difficulties, so I'm just gonna feel free to rejoin. Let's see what our next comment is. So Nicole says, I'm in my late 30s, married for 7 years, partnered for 12 with no kids. Happier in my life and relationship than many of peers who have ended up divorced single parents or stay in an unhappy, miserable marriage for convenience or lack of outs. It's not feminism, honey. It's your own personal problems. Also, if lavish dinner partying and heels are the only thing that brought you joy, I'd be sad and depressed too.
And those are the things she's saying she's going to give up too.
Right? Yeah. Somebody was speaking. Expired milk or Nena, anything about this one?
I mean, I feel like there's a little bit of a judgment on the like, oh, divorced single parents. Ooh, it's like.
Yeah, I will say it is interesting. My older sister is currently 35, and she's a person who's kind of like, she's always wanted to get married and have kids and all that, and hasn't exactly happened yet. But all her friends that did get married in their 20s, it is true, exactly half of them are now getting divorced within 4 years. So I said, oh, hey, the statistic is true.
Yep.
Half of these marriages are ending in divorce.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot of time, like women are very willfully delusional about it, sort of like, oh, he's great, my Nigel is wonderful, and then like it just wears them down over time, right? Like the having to be another mother to this grown adult man, and then over time it's just like they're exhausted and they're like, okay, enough. And like the strength of the delusion, like, look, I'm doing woman correctly, see, and then they're like, okay, enough of this, like I'm exhausted and this sucks really bad. I wanted a partner, I didn't want to be a bang maid, and then that's what I turned into. So goodbye.
Anastasia and Ice Goddess are now joining us. If you want to say hello, feel free.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome.
Hello. My boss is messaging me.
Oh.
He's like, it's fine.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes.
Is this you, Ice Goddess?
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, thank God. Sorry, I'm really nervous.
That's okay. Everyone, deep breaths and pop in if you want. If not, all good.
The last sentence and the thing is so real. Like when the person says, also, if lavish dinners, partying, and heels are the only things that brought you joy, I'd be sad and depressed too. Get a hobby. Before you decide to ruin your entire life, get a hobby.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like, also, like, if you want to have lavish dinners, then do that. Like, I don't. I don't see the problem.
Yeah.
Just do that. Be normal about it.
Hey, can I share a like weird thought that I had all of a sudden with
Sure.
Always.
it's how would I put it? That whole choice feminism thing. It's like, oh well, you know, women can do whatever the hell they want, and that's considered feminism. And I mean, I know this is probably a dog whistle, but I was like, that makes me think of the slippery slope. You know, it's like thinking women can do whatever kind of makes me feel like it slipped into, well, if women can do anything and it's considered feminism, then that means men can be feminists, and you know, and we gotta, you know.
I don't know if we lost you. That was some static on
Yeah.
my end.
Yeah, it was static for me too. I was wondering if it was just me, but
It
you started to
sounded
like
like you
static out.
sat on the microphone.
Sorry.
No. But I think
that
I caught
is
it. Like,
true.
yeah, like if
Yeah.
anything that women do is feminism, then anything men do is also okay, sort of. Is that what you're getting at towards the end? It kind of cut off.
Were you going to say something, Lisa?
No, I was gonna just kind of agree that like it is kind of a slippery slope to say that anything women do is feminism. Like,
Right, yeah. That's absolutely not the case that anything a woman chooses or wants is feminism.
Yeah.
Extremely
The best
not
way
the
to
case.
argue this, like if you end up in a conversation with someone where like, but she chose it, it's feminism. It's like, okay, if I choose to kick puppies into a volcano, is that feminism? Because like I chose it and I'm a woman, and then they have no answer to that.
Right?
I'm like, why? Like maybe some things aren't a matter of like choice is not the only meaningful aspect of something that happens, right? Like,
right, it's like a dark joke, but we talk about Ghislaine Maxwell being the ultimate feminist girl boss.
Right.
yeah,
She chose it. She was powerful.
Yeah.
exactly. Empowering
She had a woman-centered career.
herself. Yeah, sure.
Oh God.
Yeah, I feel like whenever choice feminism comes up, it's like all of a sudden people forget the reality that you can make bad choices. You can
Right.
choose things that are bad for you. Like this is
Right.
a thing that happens quite regularly.
Yeah, I'm
It's
like,
the
murder is
same-
a choice. Is that
Right,
fine now because
exactly.
Yeah.
someone chose it? Like, what are you talking about? Like, how can this be the only meaningful metric for whether something is good or bad? Like,
Yeah, and when people say like, oh, it's because I like it, and it's like, well, people like all kinds of awful stuff. Like, you having a personal affinity for a behavior is not a good enough reason to necessarily engage in it.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we got another comment to look at. The irony. She condemns feminism, but if it weren't for feminism, she wouldn't have learned how to read or write. Traditional life back in the day, it was normal to get married in your teens to a much older man, bear multiple children, and work from sunup to sundown in the fields. I'm guessing she doesn't want that part. Sounds like she still needs counseling regarding her parents' divorce. By the way, well, we don't need to. The last comment doesn't need to be
Wow.
included.
The last
But-
comment is so mean.
It's so like inappropriate. That's not. Yeah, like I said, there's not many good comments in here. They're all pretty trashy.
But also you left out this part about feminism is a belief in the political, economic,
Yeah.
and cultural equality of women.
Well, not
It's a better
really.
it's a better definition than feminism is when women make choice. Like, it's a better one.
That's a
Jeez.
better definition. What
Yeah.
do you have to say about that, Lisa?
That we frame it more as liberation rather than equality.
Mhm.
Like,
And it's not a belief
liberation
in
doesn't
the,
necessarily mean equality.
and also belief is kind of like a funny word for that. Like the crazy notion that
Right.
the unfounded spiritual belief or whatever. It's like, what? No, it's a movement. Like
The
it's a
magical
liberation movement,
idea.
people.
Yes. Expired milk, Anastasia or Ice Goddess. Any comments?
Yeah.
Trying to include everyone.
My favorite thing to say when people are like, oh, I'm anti-feminist, blah blah blah, is always, do you like wearing pants?
Do you like having a bank account in your own name?
Literally, do you like being able to have a credit card? Do you like being able to own your own house? Like,
Do you like be able to go outside without a male chaperone at all
Chaperone.
times? Yeah.
And vote
Yeah.
and drive.
well, not
Welcome to
everybody votes. Like,
feminism.
when I've brought that up, I've gotten, well, I don't vote, so it doesn't matter. What? Pardon? Huh?
Ugh.
How edgy, not voting.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's pretty edgy. My goodness. Yeah. I mean, like, it's an overall one of the better comments until the end, where it really kind of
Yeah.
jumps the shark.
We've got 2 more comments that I pulled out. So next one is, well, I'm glad she recognized early on that she didn't want kids at the time or wasn't ready for them, instead of popping them out right and left to be neglected and abused by the system. I mean, that's a point.
Yeah.
True.
The person's username is iconic, honestly.
Hostage in California. I know.
They're either a really funny leftist or a very angry right-winged person.
Yeah.
Is
That's true.
rightist a word? I don't think it is.
I'd say righty.
Right
Righty
wing.
tighty. Right winger. I don't know.
This would make a pretty good like album title.
Hostage
that
in
would.
California.
California. Yeah.
Like a really good punk album.
So good. Okay, last comment. LOL, conservative media always on the lookout for women who feel this way and posting this crap. 0 kids and we regret nothing. Off to plan our next vacation now. Bye.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Legit. Conservative
legit.
media.
I think when I was younger, people, I would say, oh, I don't want to have kids. And people would definitely say, like, you'll change your mind one day. And some women do, or I don't know,
Mhm.
a lot of women do. At least some do. So I always thought, oh, well, maybe that'll be me someday. Like, I always entertain that possibility that, like, I could change my mind. Like, I don't know. I can't predict the future of how I'm going to feel about things, but it's never happened. I'm almost 41, and every year that goes by, it's like a better and better decision, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I'm happier and happier with the decision the older I get. So that's also a possibility of what can happen. It's not just like regret is the only thing that could happen.
Well, I feel much the same. Like, I'll be 36 pretty soon, and I also just feel like my life is better and better the older I get, and I enjoy myself like as much as ever. And I've always been open to like that my mind could change, like anyone's mind could change, but it hasn't. Like, I have never thought like, might be nice to have some kids. Like, I have never changed my mind. I'm content. I look forward to my future. I'm not like worried about not having a family. Like,
Yeah.
women can have fulfilling and happy lives without a traditional nuclear family partnership.
Mm-hmm.
I also feel like our current generation might be kind of the first, example of a significant amount of women in general not having kids or even not marrying. And
Yeah.
before all this, we never really spoke about women who didn't have kids. Of course, there have always been women that didn't have kids.
Spinsters.
Yeah, like they're off
Yeah.
in the woods and we don't talk about them.
Or
But
the lesbian
now,
aunts.
if they're everywhere, then you're like, oh yeah, my aunt, she never had kids and she's fine. Like nothing bad will happen to you if you just happen to make that decision.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that it would
that's
be
true.
better to like not have kids and regret that decision than have kids and regret that decision, because that would be like you're affecting other lives at that point, and that's not good. That decision than have kids and regret that.
Oh, there's a little feedback lag.
Oops, sorry.
Oh, poor Ice Goddess is having the worst technical difficulties. I'm so sorry, Ice Goddess.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. I agree. Like, I did notice, like, when I was younger, I had mostly straight friends. I have straight friends, guys. And most of them, or at the time, of course, like when you're 20, who's like, I want to have kids? Like, they were all like, no, I don't want to have kids. Maybe I will later. I don't know. And some of them were like, I definitely will not want to have kids. And then they did want to have kids and did have kids. So it's kind of like, well, I know that a lot of women do change their minds about it, but some of them also didn't, you know? It's like, yep. And I also kept an open mind, but man, it just seems like such a bore. You have to hang out with, like, especially these days. When I was a kid, you just sent your kid outside with like a stick and told them to come back when it was dark. And now you have to like constantly entertain and play with your kids. That's so boring. I don't want to play with a kid all day.
Maybe that's why there's such a rise in iPad kids.
Yeah, because
Oh.
Did
you're not
you
allowed
all
to just
see
like send
that-
them off on their own.
Did you see that article that came out recently that was describing like Gen Alpha as feral? Did you get
I
that?
mean, I wouldn't put it
I
past them because they
haven't.
kind of are.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
play
it came as
Roblox
like
with
a
me. I want
iPhone,
to
like
play Roblox. Don't take away my iPad.
yeah, it came as like an iPhone notification. And basically, my sister read it. She said, "Yeah, they're just saying Gen Alpha, which I guess is anyone born in the past 12 years. They turn feral when their screens are taken away, unlike any kids we've seen before." I'm like, okay, well, we'll see.
Oh, it's on the Los Angeles Times. I just found it.
Yeah.
Slay.
I think we need to like really roll back the smartphone thing, especially children having access to social media. I'd really like to see a
Definitely.
full
Ugh.
180 on that.
Well, I think that's the other thing is like having a kid now just seems it's not even like 20 or 30 years ago. It's like it seems so like such an insane decision to make
Mhm.
because the future is so bleak and even the present is kind of bleak.
Yeah.
Like raising a kid in that and then what do they have to look forward to? It's just like I don't know, maybe I'm just a pessimist or something or a realist. I don't know.
No,
I kind of feel
agree.
that way
Like,
though. Yeah.
oh, I
No, go ahead.
Thanks. I Yeah, I think all the time about like I'm not gonna have kids. I don't have kids, but I do have a goddaughter who is 4, and I think about like what is the world gonna be like? What is her life gonna be like when she is 35, like I am? Like I just can't imagine that it's gonna be anything good. It freaks me out to think about, honestly.
Yeah.
I have
I have
similar
the same
thinking.
feeling,
Oh,
especially with girls, like little girls. I'm like, wow,
mm,
how is that going to turn out?
Especially
Ree,
with the
you were
media that boys are exposed to now. It's like, well, this is what we got to deal with.
Yeah. Really disturbing with little, like the things that their male peers are like looking at on the internet and then having them be forced to interact in society like that. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Hi, Scottus, welcome back.
Hi!
Yay!
I think it's this shitty mic that I dug out from somewhere and it's messing up. I'm so sorry.
Oh gosh, no worries. No worries. Let's see. There was some comments that I saw a second ago, but I don't know. Continue on. Anyone?
My computer just like pooped out, so I didn't know what we were talking about. Sorry.
Oh, talking about the most of the way the world seems to be kind of doomed for children today, and what kind of world are they going to inherit?
Heck yes. That's all I ever hear about on the news is how millennials suck at raising kids and oh my god, and thank goodness women are dabbing out and like, hell no, I'm not raising kids, and my parents keep whining that I don't give them grandchildren, and it's like, oy, it's all you ever hear about, I feel. And men are whining like I didn't get laid enough, and it's like, you don't take care of children though, and it's kind of a big deal when men, you know, if men could take care of kids, but they're not willing to, so whatever, they're these men, they don't know. They're whatever. We talk about it all the time. They're just frustrating. It's like, what else can we say about men? They don't care.
That they want to sit on their butt all day and play Call of Duty.
Yes.
Yep.
But then also
Um,
obviously have a gazillion children.
Taken care of elsewhere by someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but it's natural.
Tori in the chat asks, can we talk about the crisis of declining birth rates?
How are birth rates declining if our population is increasing consistently?
Well, it's like localized, right? Some areas it's declining, like basically developed nations, like first world nations or whatever you want to call it, the birth rates are declining, but then in the less developed nations it's increasing. So that's why.
But that's been the case in Japan for like a really long time.
Yes,
And most
in
of
Korea,
Europe.
too.
Like
I don't
literally
think
most of
that
Europe.
they-
Spain is worse than Japan, and it has been for decades.
And I don't think those societies are really suffering that much.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I feel like they tend to focus on, I guess, the economic impact of having an older
Mhm.
population that's twice the size of the younger population and what that might look like. But I think a lot of it is panic over, hey, maybe the economic system we have doesn't work, and instead of trying to figure it out, we're just going to try to pressure women into having more babies. And then there's this also intersection of, oh yes, babies are being born, but they are not of our preferred race or origin, which means we are going to be taken over by, some other place, and our way of life will be destroyed, blah, blah, blah. So that's usually the two sides of the
Cringe.
conversation that you should, like, oh no, we need to start having more babies right now.
Yeah,
And
I mean
that's literally exactly it. When women have options.
Exactly, Tori.
I
the
also agree with Tori. She's
population
right about
decline
that.
can always be solved by immigration, but no one wants to talk about that.
Yeah,
True
that's why
does.
Spain's population doesn't go down. It's because there's so much immigration, but Japan's does go down because there's so little immigration.
Fun.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not sure about Japan, but I know Korea they're having the same issue, and they're trying to incentivize more people to move there and stuff.
Yep. Well, they want people to like have babies and to move here temporarily. And then like when they're young and when they can do the hard labor, because that's the main problem Japan has, is there's no young people to do like hard labor. So they want them to come here, work 5 years, break their bodies, and go back to their shitty home countries. That's what they want.
Sounds like a plan.
Yep.
Because they bring in lots and lots of immigrants to do trade jobs because they don't have enough people like of that age to do them yet, and then they complain about them being here.
Yep. Yeah. That's the plan.
Okay, so I don't know, like I don't want to be rude to anybody, but Angel's Rage would like to join and say something, and I can't add another person. There's a limit of 6.
I can pop out.
Okay.
Oh, I can pop out. You stay, Lisa.
Well,
see you in the chat.
I just want to give everyone who wants to say something an equal opportunity too, but I literally cannot.
Star Wars is great. That is all. Goodbye.
Bye. Love you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Love
Okay.
you. Bye.
Angel's Rage, welcome.
Hi.
Thank you for sacrificing yourself, expired.
Angel.
Are you there, Angel's Rage? Okay.
Angel. She's too
okay.
busy raging.
Yeah.
She's so pissed off.
Oh no.
That would be a
okay. Yes, that was very nice, expired. Thank you.
Thank you. I feel bad. I feel really
No,
bad.
hello, welcome.
Hi. I'm a huge fan of yours.
It's very nice.
I'm very passionate about this topic. In fact, I recently wrote an article about it. Well, something similar along the lines of about women who, think that I have to have kids or else I'm gonna die and be alone forever. And yeah, it's something that has really kind of been a part of my life ever since I was a young child, you know, watching my stepmom go through infertility, and her always emphasize the fact that she was going to be a lonely cat lady, and it almost broke her marriage with my dad. Like, it was really bad. And even my father started telling me, like, hey, you're going to be like, if like, you should have kids, or else, you know, no one's going to pay for you one day, and like, you're just going to die alone. And it's like, it's like this idea that that's your only family, that's the only family you'll ever have is your kids. It just drives me nuts.
I think a lot of those worries can be taken care of if governments had proper elder care.
Yes, that's what I think too. But like, the thing is like, he got, like, I remember wanting to have kids whenever I was in, like, around 16 maybe to 17. In fact, it got so bad to where I was afraid of becoming infertile. Like, it was like, I was afraid of, this is gonna sound ridiculous, but things like microwaves, x-rays.
Oh,
It sounds silly, but once you watch your parents cry and scream, and, you know, like, it really messes you up. It really it really, like, having to see that, and then having your stepmom tell you that, you know, you made me go to therapy because you once told me that I'm not going to be a good mother, you know, because I was, like, really mad at her at the time, and just because of that one comment alone made her be like, I got to go to therapy, because it's almost as if her only role was to be a mother, which I don't think at all. I think she's more than a mom. She's a friend, she's a person, and she's a real estate agent. And you know, like, I don't know, it just really makes me sad to see women dilute themselves to something like this. And it's made me realize, like, I never really wanted kids. The only reason I wanted kids, quote unquote, was because of the reasons my family wanted them. But I don't want to have any.
I feel like this is kind of like a bleak thing to say, but I think especially for straight women, I guess there's kind of like, for them, having a child is like someone who will love them unconditionally, because their male partners never love them unconditionally, pretty much. It's like, oh, you got cancer, bye.
Oh,
Bye.
That's the sad part, is that's so
So, you know,
selfish. Like, you expect somebody, you pop someone into this world, and you expect them to love you? No, what if they fucking hate you? Like, what if they decide, oh, well, I hate you, Mom. Like, I'm gonna go live in, you know, Alaska, and, like, fuck you, bye. Like,
then you just have a few more. That's the solution. Just have a few more. One of them will love you. I think that's literally what the thought process is. Like, and they have so much love to give as well, and their male partners will just take and take and take and never give back. So I feel like that's the only way they can have, like, a truly reciprocal, loving relationship.
it's so
I don't
sad.
say this often. I don't say this often, but it kind of makes me happy that I'm a lesbian.
Yeah.
I don't want
Big
that.
time.
Yeah, it's just, like, I don't know. Like, I think that if it's natural to want to have kids, like, for the majority of people. I mean, we're never going to make that go away. But
Right.
it's just like the expectation that everybody is supposed to have them, you know, like 12 babies for each family. And it's just like, what about, like, what if somebody dies? Like, who's going to take care of, like, the rest of your kids? It's just like somebody said earlier about, like, the bioessentialism. Like, oh, they have to be biological. It's just not the same if they're not biological. It's just like, get the fuck out of here. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's enough kids already. If you want one, you can just find one.
yeah.
They're everywhere.
It's a pain in the ass. They don't want to adopt. And I got this from my own sister as well. She's like, I don't think I'd love them if they weren't my own child. It's like,
That's pathetic.
I hate that.
That's really sad, I think. Like, because, like, I've said so many times that you can have you can have deeply intimate relationships that are not romantic or familial. And, like, I don't mean intimate in, like, a romantic or sexual way. Like, you can have fulfilling emotional intimacy with your female friends. And I wish more people would put a lot more value on those connections than the romantic or familial, because they can be extremely rewarding and fulfilling.
I love my friends.
Yeah, I love my
Me
friends
too.
too. And my dad keeps on saying, or like not even just my dad, but people in my life. I come from a very conservative household and a very liberal household. Just like that woman in the article, my parents are also divorced. And so I get, two different viewpoints from different sides. But, the one who has more off on me was the conservative side because, my adolescence was mostly spent by them. And it was just like family was the most central element, which can be true. Okay. Like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with like wanting kids and like wanting a family and like I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but it's just I don't think that it's what you need. Like you can have friends, you can have pets. What's wrong with having pets? What's wrong with dying alone with cats? I love my cats. Like
It's all male propaganda.
stupid. Like this isn't the 1950s anymore, okay? This isn't the Great Depression to where we needed to have large families to go work on the farms. Like it's just not like that anymore. And I feel like the reason why people are having less kids is maybe to a response to the overpopulation that we had. I mean, I don't want to say that we had an overpopulation for sure, but I know that the baby boomers, that was like a big boom in people. And so, it's just a natural response is to have less kids. I mean, people keep on being like, oh my God, population, it's dropping, but like, it's kind of natural. It's natural. Just drives you
There's
nuts.
some good comments I just wanted to highlight in the chat. Expired Milk said, strong relationships between women, whether they be romantic or platonic, are the biggest threat to male rule.
Yep.
Very good. That's exactly right. And then Enlightened Female says, if you can't find yourself parenting a child that isn't biologically your own, you aren't ready to have children. I want my kid to be biologically mine can turn into bigotry real quick. Very good.
My aunt was adopted. Just like Enlightened Female said, I 100% agree with that. My aunt, she was adopted, and my great-grandma said, well, she's not my real granddaughter. Like,
Oh,
disgusting, honestly.
oh man,
It's awful.
I have in my family, so my aunt, who I'm extremely close to, she is also a lesbian, and she was married to a woman for a long time. They are unfortunately divorced now, but they have a son who is my aunt's ex-wife's biological child. So biologically not related to me or our family in any way, but we have never ever considered that. Like, he is my cousin, he's her son, like we all love and accept and care for him, as we would a biological family member. Even to the point where sometimes I find myself thinking like that he looks like my aunt or his behaviors are like her, but like biologically there's no connection. It's so funny.
I wish I had a lesbian.
That's how it should be.
Well, yeah.
Jealous. I'm the only fucking one. It sucks.
My
I don't have
aunt
one either.
like paved the way for me to come out like easily.
Yay!
Yeah.
Damn it. I wish that was my situation.
I have an older
That's
lesbian
great.
Unfortunately,
cousin.
my aunt is a fucking
sorta counts.
conspiracy theorist.
Oh no!
Yes.
Are we living the same life?
Oh my god. Does your aunt think that the world is going to end because of COVID-19 and
No,
the
but mine's
Bible
a flat
prophecy is
earther.
being fulfilled and whatever? So
Mine
dumb.
is a flat earther. I win.
Oh no!
Oh God.
I know a few
Wow.
of those kinds.
Help!
Let's see. Chat, not much going
It
on right
trips me
now.
out with
Turning
the
my
flat
camera
Earth
on.
thing, by the way. It's like, what is Earth like some giant pizza and everything else is like round? Why is
Literally,
just
think of
the
it more like a
Earth
map.
flat?
The Earth is special. That's why.
Yeah, because we're here.
We're the center of everything. That's why we get to be
Flat
flat.
Earthers
Everyone else
so
has to be a circle.
Yeah, everybody gets to be spherical, but we're a giant rocky pizza. All right.
Exactly.
Well, like, she also thinks that the moon landing was fake, so.
Oh Lord. All
Great.
right. All
Oh, does
right.
somebody else want to come and speak? I can leave.
Well, I think that's a good transition, because I think probably going to wrap up shortly, just because everyone has lives to get to, and I have to eat dinner and stuff. But
I should go to work.
yeah, Nena is skipping work to do this.
I'm going later.
So yeah, I'm very appreciative of all of you who came on today. And Expired Milk, thank you for giving up your spot for another person to come in.
Thank you.
We love you.
This has been lovely. It's so nice to have you women here and to hear your voices and to have discussions. So thank you for being brave and coming on this chat.
Yeah.
Lisa,
Thanks for
anything to
having us.
add?
Not really. It's just very nice to talk to everyone once again. Like,
Yeah.
I agree. It was very fun.
Nice to meet
Yeah.
you,
Yeah,
Lisa.
it's been a while.
I love
You
your
guys are
YouTube
so
channel.
cool.
Thank you.
That's very cute.
Nice to
Okay.
meet all of you.
So thank you to everyone in the chat as well for being here. I just am so appreciative because everyone has such great insight. So thank you for that. Lisa will probably be streaming on Friday, I'm sure. That's her afternoon thing. And we'll probably be back next Tuesday evening. So have a great week, y'all. Subscribe to Lisa so that you can see her on Friday.
And do you want to invite the women who are here to stay for a few moments after the stream?
Yes, the women who are currently on stream with us, don't leave when we're done. But okay, yes. Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely evening, and we'll see you on Friday and next week.
Sweet.
Bye, everyone.